It's time for Rust University with Shell.
Episode 5, Vehicles. Hey guys, welcome back. Up to lesson number 5. We had a few more people attending university last lesson, so that was good. Few prim clothing experts out there now. This week we're starting with vehicles, and the first vehicle I want to talk about, and yes, I class this as a vehicle, is horses. You've got different breeds of horses, and each horse can run at a different speed. So make sure you don't pick up the Dapple Grey or the Red Rowan, because they're slow. Thoroughbreds are the fastest, let's go for those. I think there's a saying there somewhere that's hard to run like a thoroughbred if you're surrounded by Dapple Greys. Okay, that was a bad dad joke. I'll keep those to myself from now on. Right, you got 2 horseshoes, you got a basic, you got a high quality one. One requires tier 1 workbench with no blueprint, the other one requires the blueprint tier 2 workbench. The differences are on screen, and if you look down at your horse and hit examine, you can drop them into the slot here. You'll notice there's 4 slots, and we'll go over those slots as well. Just a side note, the cool thing about the horse speed is it will dynamically change when you put on armor, bags, or horseshoes or whatever. So you can keep an eye on that. Now there's 2 types of horse armor. One is the road sign horse armor and one is the wooden. Now you're simply just trading off speed for protection with these 2 armors. With the small added bonus, the wooden horse armor gives you 6 inventory slots on the horse. And yes, this protection is added to your armor, so it's not just for the horse. You can tank a lot of bullets with this thing. The road sign horse armor is so strong it actually led to a crazy phase of Rust called the Horse Gang era, where they were running around with heavy pot and road sign armor and they were taking literally 1 damage. That's been nerfed since then. You can't use heavy pot, but you can still tank up and then jump on a horse and get almost 80-90% reduction. Another way to buff a horse speed is throw them apples. Feed them apples and they'll gallop really fast. It only lasts for a minute, but if you're leaving the outpost with your horse and you feed him an apple, you'll get home or halfway home with 1 apple. Pretty awesome. So that's 2 slots with the horseshoe and the armor. The other 2 you can fill with saddlebags. These will provide you 12 extra slots on your horse, so it's like having another backpack. They will slightly slow your horse down, but again, it's a trade-off. If you're going out farming nodes or trees, you can load your horse up quite a bit as well. Right, quickly, the last thing on horses, you run faster on a road, so if you can get on a road, get on a road. Right, motorbike is like a fast horse with no customization. It goes faster than a horse, but it does cost low-grade fuel. And there's not much more to say on a motorbike. They're pretty fun. Have a go on them. Alright, so cars. We've got 2 module cars, 3 module cars, and 4 module cars. These will randomly spawn around the map on roads and dirt roads. You have to go and find them. These are module because you can change them around as much as you want. It's really awesome. The only requirements are you must have a cockpit and you must have an engine. Otherwise, the car will not move. So you can achieve this by having a cockpit plus an engine module, or an armored cockpit plus an engine module, or you can get a cockpit with engine module in one. These are the different types of modules that you can swap in and change out. I'm not going to go over them all, as you can have a play around with them and swap them all around. I just want to mention a couple that need to be mentioned. So the flatbed tray seems very useless, and it kind of is, unless you're like driving around a squad full of boys. But if you put the tray on the front of the car, you can actually drive into road signs and slay them, and they all collect up in the tray. It's a quick and easy way to farm road signs and pipes. I've seen players still not know this. There's a locker inside if you look up here, and you can fit a lot of loot in there that you normally wouldn't think you could fit in a camper. There's also 4 beds. The main thing I want to talk about is this. When you put a camper module right up against the cockpit, the back wall disappears, as if you were talking to your friend from the driver's seat. Okay? So when you build your camper, make sure, if you can, if you've got a 4 mod, you put the engine next to the camper module, then your cockpit. That way you have your cockpit wall reinstated for more protection. There's so much to learn about the modules and different customizations you can have with the vehicles. Obviously, you can put different quality parts in. This will change the efficiency, the speed, the acceleration. But yeah, making your own vehicle is quite fun and funky. You can do funny things with them. Now, the last few things, you can put a code lock on the vehicle. This is a must. When you have a code lock on the vehicle, no one can access the storage module or the fuel
or they can't get in the vehicle. This is 75 frags, and you can do this off a module jack. Just a thing to note about the module jack, the car lifter. There is some out in the monuments that you can use if you don't have one. There's one at the ferry terminal and there's one at the junkyard. So you can always visit these monuments to get your code lock on. Also, repairing the vehicle will be cheaper on one of these lifts. The other thing about the lift is if it's powered, it does prevent car decay. So if you have one in your base, in a garage, you can prevent your car from decaying. Do not do it outside powered because someone will just access it and take the lock off and steal your car. Cars have an 8-hour decay window when they're outside, and they have a 36-hour window of decay if they're under a roof. So you can just park it inside your garage or wherever and slow the decay down to a point where it's negligible.
You can remove a car lock from the cockpit of a vehicle when it reaches 20% health. Is there anything else? Not sure. Cars are extremely useful, and as a solo, you should definitely be running at least a 2 mod with an armored cab and an engine to get to and from the outpost or points of interest. They're amazingly strong and fast and a great way to get around.
So because this video and this series is targeted at noobs, or even one step further, the super noob, we're not going to go over minis, scrappies, attack helicopters. It's probably a bit out of reach at this point of the game. But we will talk about the balloon. The balloon is an amazing way to get around the map, and they just spawn all over the map, so you don't have to buy one like I am in this scene. You can literally go and find one laying on the ground.
I believe it's pretty essential skill for a Rust player to be able to fly a balloon. All you have to do is stick in the fuel and you burn the gas burner, which makes you go up. Now, the wind direction changes at each altitude level, so if you're wanting to go east, you need to stay at that right height. So you need to go burner on, burner off, burner on to maintain that altitude to carry on going that direction. You can see the wind vane moving around on the balloon here. So all you really need to do is keep the right height for which way you want to go, and you'll fly in that direction. Just keep an eye on the wind vane as you're flying. You can be vulnerable in the hot air balloon, but you can add armor to it. It just makes it harder to navigate.
Okay, this next one's for you, the great one. Boats decay in 3 hours outside. If you make a boat base or put it under a roof, it will prevent decay completely. So if you build a quick boat base like this and launch it inside, you will stop the decay. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about is tugboats. Tugboats are awesome, but they're really hard to find. You can put doors on them. You need to look down at the steering wheel and authorize yourself like a TC, and then you'll be able to add doors to the tugboat. Now, you can make a ghetto airlock for the tugboat. It's not going to really prevent much, but it will stop someone just walking in if you open the door. So get a research bench and chuck it down here, and then you can get a workbench, level 1 or 2 or whatever, and put it here. Now, if you open the door, walk in and then shut the door, you can get inside, but if someone else does it, they won't be able to. So there's your ghetto airlock for the tugboat. Now, the tugboat absolutely chugs low grade. It's 20 low grade per minute, and you'll be surprised how quick it will just start eating through low grade if you're going to oil rig or you're going around the map. One little tip I did pick up off a video I once watched on tugboats was stashing low grade in a tuna can lamp on the outside. In case you ever run out of low grade on the way there, or you're trying to outrun someone, you can stash low grade here. Tugboats are extremely vulnerable to a submarine torpedo attack, and this is the easiest way to kill a tugboat. Only 4 tugboats can be on the map at any one time, and they spawn at the harbour. So on a fresh wipe, you want to run straight to a harbour and try and nab a tugboat if that's what you're trying to do for the wipe. You can try and park it at the fishing village to prevent attack, but as you can see, you can shoot it from quite a far away with the torpedo. Okay, the last vehicle today we're going to go over is the kayak. Kayak is, in my opinion, underrated and underused. You can swim out into the ocean and you can deploy it. And while you're out in the ocean, you can pick it back up with a hammer, which makes it quite stealthy for doing dive sites. You can also use it when you're doing dive sites to pop up and heal. It's like a platform in the ocean where you can actually eat, heal, and do things like that, which makes it super handy. You do require a paddle to use it, and it'll start off slow, but then you'll pick up speed, and you actually get up to quite a decent speed with the kayak as well. It's a good one to have fun out on the water with.
Wait up, there's one more.
Blueprint in his recent video said that this was bad and useless. Definitely made me realize that I'm a weird player because I love it. This thing can get you around a dive sites undetected by players. It's so good. It's speedy, doesn't take much low grade, and the stealthiness of this to get you to dive sites, to oil rig, wherever you want to get to, the lighthouse, definitely outweighs the cost of the tech trash and the high qual. I think it's amazing. Give it a go. Okay, guys, these episodes were supposed to be 2 to 5 minutes long, and they're somehow blowing out to 10 minutes, so I apologize for that. I'll try and start trimming them down a little bit more. Next episode, we can either do on basic electric systems, or we can go into farming. Leave me a comment. I'm not sure which way to go with it yet, so tell me which one you guys prefer, and we'll go with that one for next episode. Cheers.